Today we're diving into some exciting news from the action RPG world, and that is Titan Quest II. The game has officially launched into early access, and the numbers and reactions so far are seriously impressive. Over 300,000 copies sold in just the first 72 hours. And so honestly, that is no small feat, especially for a game that is still in early access with limited content. So if you grew up loving the original Titan Quest, or you're just an ARPG fan looking for something fresh to dive into, this might just be the game for you. So today, we're going to take a look at all the details we know so far, why this sequel is making waves, and what you can expect from it moving forward. Let's dive in. Okay, so before we talk about Titan Quest II, let's rewind a bit and remember why the original Titan Quest made such a huge impact when it released back in 2006. Developed by Iron Lore Entertainment and published by THQ, Titan Quest brought something special to the ARPG genre that wasn't quite common at the time. One of the biggest innovations was its dual mastery system. So instead of locking you into a single class, the game allowed players to mix two masteries together, creating hundreds of unique build combinations. So if you wanted to be a deadly sword-wielding ranger who can also throw down lightning spells, or if you preferred a tanky defender with nature magic, that is possible too. And so this freedom made character creation incredibly fun and rewarding. And then, of course, there's the setting. Titan Quest took players on an epic journey through a mythological version of the ancient world, blending Greek, Egyptian, and Chinese mythologies into a single sprawling adventure. You'd wander through sun-dappled olive groves, explore mysterious desert temples, and fight legendary monsters like the Hydra and Minotaur. And the game's art style was vibrant and colorful, standing apart from the darker gothic tones that dominated the genre back then. And then on top of that, the original Titan Quest was praised for its satisfying combat, intricate loot system, and a sense of wonder that made exploring ancient myths feel fresh again. It built a loyal fan base that has waited eagerly for a proper sequel for years. And now looking back, it's clear why there was so much anticipation for Titan Quest II. But of course the question is, does it live up to the legacy? That's something that we're going to have to find out. And so fast forward to 2025, and Titan Quest II finally arrived on Steam and the Epic Games Store into early access. Developed by Grimlore Games, the sequel preserves the core elements that made the original beloved while adding modern touches and polish. The early numbers are very promising. Over 300,000 copies sold in just the first 72 hours of the game's launch. And now, like I mentioned in the intro, that is impressive for any game, but especially for one that is still in early access. And now I personally think it shows that there's a strong appetite for this kind of classic style ARPG with a mythological twist. And more than just sales, the player engagement has remained high, with concurrent players holding steady at about 50% of the peak since launch. So in my opinion, this suggests that players aren't just buying the game and walking away, they're sticking with it, playing through the content, and enjoying the experience, even though early access currently only includes about 9 to 15 hours of story. And so of course, the numbers are great, but what about the actual gameplay? And so currently in early access, the game offers the first act, which introduces players to a fictionalized ancient Greece, but with a fresh story twist. You're pitted against Nemesis, who is the goddess of retribution. And now this sets a darker, more intense tone compared to the original's mythological adventure. You can progress your character up to level 40 during this early access phase, choosing from 2 of 4 available masteries. There is Rogue, Warfare, Storm, and Earth. And now each mastery offers unique playstyles. So for example, Rogue is focused more on stealth and precision strikes. Then you have Warfare, who is all about heavy melee combat and durability. Then Storm commands elemental lightning and wind powers. And then of course the Earth mastery channels the power of nature and stone all around you. And I think the combat system feels smooth and responsive, with plenty of room for creative build combinations thanks to that dual mastery system that returns from the original. And so you'll constantly be upgrading weapons and armor, crafting powerful items, and mixing skill trees to find your perfect playstyle. And despite only having one act, the game already delivers satisfying progression and a good variety of enemies, from mythical beasts to corrupted humans, that keep combat fresh and engaging. And now for those of you that are wondering if it feels light because it is early access, trust me here, the time you get is packed with enough depth to keep you hooked, especially if you enjoy tweaking builds and hunting loot. But alright, let's talk about what really sets Titan Quest II apart in today's ARPG scene. In a market where Path of Exile 2 and Diablo 4 dominate with seasonal content, microtransactions, and constant live service updates, Grimlore Games is taking a different approach. They've explicitly stated that there will be no microtransactions in Titan Quest 2, which is a huge relief for players such as myself that are tired of pay-to-win mechanics or cosmetic cash grabs. Instead, the game will be supported by DLCs, an expansion pack similar to traditional RPGs of the past. And now, I don't know about you, but I personally find that refreshing. Like I mentioned, it feels like a breath of fresh air in a genre where the pressure to monetize every little thing is constant. And so this choice reflects a respect for players' time and money and a desire to deliver a complete, satisfying game without forcing players into repetitive grinding or spending cycles. You can even play the game offline, which is increasingly rare these days. The multiplayer features are currently limited, but definitely on the horizon. Grimlore Games has promised to expand and refine multiplayer functionality throughout early access. And so if you're like me and enjoy jumping in with friends for some chaotic monster slaying, this is definitely something to look forward to. Better late and polished than rushed out. And also on the way is a much requested full character creation system. Right now, customization options are a bit basic, but soon you'll be able to personalize your hero's look from head to toe, and that's something that's always adds a little extra connection to your avatar in games like these. And now let's not forget the roadmap that includes new masteries to shake up build options and keep gameplay feeling fresh. So if you love theory crafting and trying every new combination that is known into the game, that is huge news for you. And so looking further ahead, the full release of Titan Quest 2 is planned for late 2026. This gives Grimlore Games plenty of time to polish the experience and add all of the promised content. And now when the full version launches, it won't just be for PC players, it's coming to Xbox and PlayStation as well. So for a franchise that's been mostly PC-centric, that is a huge deal and could bring a whole new wave of fans into the fold. And now I always like to think about the opportunity here. Early access players get to influence the game's direction and see the world expand over time, which is pretty exciting if you like being part of a community shaping a game's future. And now personally, I was cautiously optimistic about Titan Quest 2 going in. Sequels to classics sometimes fall flat or feel stuck in the past, but this one has pleasantly surprised me. The combat feels tight and rewarding. The world captures that mythological vibe beautifully, and the dual mastery system gives so much depth and freedom into character building. It's exactly what I want in an ARPG sequel. And I've also been impressed with how lively and positive the community has been. Sharing builds, fan art, and streams, it's great to see a passionate fan base rally behind a game that honors its roots but also embraces modern design. And now when I compare Titan Quest 2 to giants like Path of Exile 2 or Diablo 4, it does feel like a different kind of experience. Instead of chasing the seasonal grind in competitive multiplayer, Titan Quest 2 leans into a story-driven, self-paced journey. It's great for players who want to sink into a rich narrative without feeling pressured by meta builds or timed events. And plus, the mythological setting offers a refreshing break from the usual dark fantasy and gothic themes that are dominating the genre. Now, I'm a sucker for myth, so that definitely works in its favor for me. And since there won't be any microtransactions, the game will rely on DLCs and expansion packs for content updates. And so I'm expecting new story chapters, additional masteries, fresh enemies, and more loot, basically all the stuff that keeps an ARPG feeling alive long after launch. And this model respects players who want to invest more time and money while avoiding the pitfalls of constant grinding or feeling you have to pay to keep up. And so to sum it all up, Titan Quest 2 is off to a fantastic start. It has sold over 300,000 copies in just the first 3 days and maintaining strong player engagement, so that number I'm sure is much higher. And if you're an ARPG fan or someone who loves mythological adventures with deep customization, this is definitely a game to watch. Early access is available now on Steam and the Epic Games Store, and the developers are actively listening to player feedback to shape the game's future. And so me personally, I'm genuinely excited to see how Titan Quest 2 grows and evolves leading up to its full launch next year. So my question to you is, what do you think about Titan Quest 2 so far? Are you planning to jump in during early access, or will you be waiting for the full release? Make sure to let me know down below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up. Also hit that subscribe button if you're new, as I will continue to be making more gaming news videos just like this one. Until next time.